Hello, Eagles. You are flipping in fifth with me, Mrs. G. Today we're talking about topic 15, lesson 2, and today's learning target is I can identify and classify triangles. Today's vocabulary, we're going to have quite a few different types of triangles for you to take notes on, so make sure that you write it small and leave room for everything. Our first one is an equilateral triangle. That is a triangle with equal sides. Looks similar to this one. Our next one is an isosceles triangle. That is a triangle with two equal sides. So here we know this side and this side are equal, but this third side is not. A scalene triangle, just avoid, I don't know why there's this box around it, but it is a triangle with no equal sides. And then a right triangle is a triangle with one right or a 90-degree angle. So it would look like this. And this here is your symbol, of course, for a 90-degree angle. An acute triangle is a triangle with three acute, or smaller than 90 degrees, angles. So here we have 70-degree angle, a 70-degree angle, and a 40-degree angle. They are all less than 90 degrees, so we know that this is acute. Then there's an obtuse triangle. That is a triangle with one obtuse, which means larger than 90 degrees angle. So here is your obtuse angle here, so you know that that is an obtuse triangle. So how do you classify triangles? Well, here in this picture, the sum of the measure of all three angles in this triangle is 180 degrees. So what type of triangle is shown? Well, what do we know from this? We know that this angle is 70 degrees, this angle is 80 degrees, and this angle is 30 degrees. So step one, you need to look at those angles shown, and none of them are right angles, because we would know there would be the little square here, or it would say 90 degrees. And none of them are obtuse angles, larger than 90 degrees. So by definition, we know this is an acute triangle. You're also going to look again at the angles shown because all of the angles are different. That means all of the sides are different too. Even though this side and this side look like they could be the same, if the angles are different, they will not be the same size. So this triangle is also a scalene triangle. So think about it in this way. We know that 180 degrees was the total of all of these angles because one measured 30, or one measured 70, one measured 30, and one measured 80. And you add those all together and you know this triangle has a total of 180 degrees. Now it's your turn to try. Go ahead and classify each triangle by its sides and then by its angles. Go back and rewatch our examples or look at your notes to determine what each of these is called. Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're ready. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, number 1 is an equilateral triangle because we know that all three sides are the same because it says it right here, but we would also know because the angles are the same. And it's also acute because none of the angles is 90 degrees or greater. Number 2 is an isosceles triangle and a right triangle, and you can tell here because it has the little right symbol on the side. This one is also an isosceles triangle, and this one is acute because each of the angles is less than 90 degrees, but two sides measure 6 inches here. That makes it isosceles. Here we have a scalene and a right triangle because again you see the little right triangle on one side, but you can see that none of the sides are the same length. And in this one, it's equilateral and acute. All of the angles are less than 90 degrees. That makes it acute, and all of the sides are equal. So we know that's equilateral. Make sure you checked your work and you wrote how many you got correct out of 5. Remember, be honest. This is not for a grade, just so Mr. Whalen and I can help you better. Honestly, fill out that self-reflection. Could you teach a friend, or are you still confused? And fill in the space below with any questions you still have. Hope you had a great night learning about more plane figures. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.